Hello, guys. Malpro here for another episode in my gameplay series on MTG Arena. And this week, we're playing Kethis combo. I started playing this deck about a week ago. I think the day after the last week's video released, and I've been really enjoying it since. I started playing it and I was like, okay, this deck has potential, but this build feels clunky and I don't really know how to build it. So I put it down for a day, and then Crokies started playing it on stream. So I played his build and was like, okay, this is better, still a little clunky. And then the Arena Championship happened and there were more deck lists. It was like, oh yeah, this deck is busted. So I have been just winning so much with this version of Kethis and the other version of Kethis that many different people brought to the World Championship. This is Andrei Strosky's list from the World Champion, or not from the World Championship, sorry, the Arena Championship. And it's felt really good. I'll show you the other list, but basically Strosky's list is much more combo focused, but because of that, it is a much more consistent turn 4 deck, which I do think is better for the latter, when a lot of people are playing decks like artifacts or goblins, and there are less people playing decks with potentially counter spells like Phoenix, or and there is still a lot of Rakdos, but less than the metagame at like Worlds. So if you look at this deck, so basically you'll see in both the Kethis decks there's some cards that are agreed upon that are completely necessary. You need 4 Mox Ambers, you need 4 Kethis, you need 4 Jace, you need 4 Emery. Without that, you won't ever be able to combo. Those 16 cards are 100% essential, and they are the main combo pieces. Past that, the other thing the two lists have in common are the 4 Chromatic Star and the 4 Grizzly Salvage. And the reason they're both in both deck lists is they just fill in, they're like copies 5 through 8 of different cards. Chromatic Star, you basically just want a few more artifacts for Emery, and you want something that's good to get back with Emery, and not in this, and it also just has extra synergies. Sometimes it's just fixing the mana, either with the Spire of Industry or just filtering, but sometimes, like if you have Chromatic Star out, which is 1 tap, sacrifice Chromatic Star, add 1 mana of any color, and when it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card. Well, if you have Kinnan out and you activate this, you actually make 2 mana. So if you play Kinnan on turn 3, you crack Chromatic Star, you have 2 mana, you could potentially play a Mox Amber, play a Jace for 4. Really powerful. And then you also have Grizzly Salvage, which at first I was like, why is this in the deck? But then I realized it gives you this inevitability. Because most of your cards are either like produce a lot of mana or find you more cards, like half the cards in this deck just dig you deeper. And so you have this inevitability where, versus Rakdos, you're playing. You mill with Emery, you mill with Salvage, you maybe mill yourself for 3 with Jason, draw. You get out a Relic of Legends, you get out a Mox Amber. And then eventually, you just top deck either Kethis or a Takenuma to get back a Kethis, or you top deck a Jace to draw 3 cards to find Kethis, Takenuma. But eventually, you top deck some way, mostly either Jace or Kethis, but some way to be able to combo. And because you played cards like Salvage and Emery in the early game, like on turn 6, you top deck a Kethis or mostly just Kethis, you're usually able to combo, which is really powerful. And so I'm going to talk about a few of the other cards in this deck. There's Kinnan, which is the main difference in Strasky's list, and basically the entire rest of the deck list is a lot revolving around 4 Kinnin, which the ability you care about is whenever you tap an online permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. Really powerful ability. It means you can just produce so much mana, and it also means like sometimes you can do like a soft combo, where like you don't have a bunch, like maybe 2 of your Mox Ambers got exiled, or maybe even 3. But with Kinnin, you're sometimes able to just produce enough mana to cast like 4 Jaces in a turn, 1 at yourself, 3 at your opponent, and just mill them out on turn 7. So Kinnin helps you go fast with Mox Amber, Chromatic Star, and Relic of Legends, which I'll get to. But it also means that in the late game, especially in post-board games, if some of your key combo pieces have gone exiled, you can still combo with Kinnin. Just like, it's not really combo at that point. You can just cast a bunch of spells using Kinnin. And then also in your 2-drop slot, you have a few like filler cards. These are these 2 plus the 5 drops. They're like the last. They're the last 5 cards in the deck list. And you're like, isn't that obvious? Well, yeah, they're the only non-4-0s. So I'm gonna move them over there with the 5 drops. I'll talk about them with those 5 drops in a second. I'm gonna cover Emery now, which is a hidden 2-drop most of the time. Emery, the most common play pattern with Emery is you either play turn 1 Chromatic Star, turn 2 Emery for 2, or just turn 2 Amber plus Emery for 2. And playing Emery on turn 2 always feels good. You have a pretty decent density of artifacts in this build with Relic of Legends, so you have good chances of milling an artifact. And if you don't, like maybe you can Grizzly Salvage, mill an artifact, or maybe the artifact you played to cast Emery was a Chromatic Star, which you can buy back. So Emery is a great setup piece. It can provide some value against Rakdos decks if they have to kill it, and it already got a little bit of value milling yourself, and it was pretty cheap usually. And then also, a good way to combo is if you have 2 Emerys, you can loop them with Kethis, and you don't run out of, and you can do this without Mox Ambers to mill your deck, because you can tap the Emerys even while summoning sick with Relic of Legends. So I'm going to read Relic of Legends, which is tap, add 1 mana of any color, and tap an untapped legendary creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. This is what goes with Kinnin to make this deck list faster, more consistent than the other builds, which I will go over, and then I'll play a few games with each. And so this Relic lets you have so much mana, which for a lot of obvious reasons help you go off. Notably, the first ability does double the mana with Kinnin. Like, you have Relic, you tap, add 1 mana, it adds 2 with Kinnin. The second ability does not get affected by Kinnin, so if you use the second ability to tap an untapped legendary creature you control, say Kinnin, to add a mana, you do not get 2, you only get 1. Because if you read Kinnin here, whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced, you're not actually tapping it for mana, it's an cost of the ability to tap it, so it doesn't actually work. And then there's basically, like, I like to call Kethis plus Jace a 2-card combo, and I think this is what has made Kethis good more recently, is that you can just play Kethis plus Jace, and most of the time, like, it's a 2-card combo. Unless it's like turn 3, it'll usually be a 2-card combo. You have Jace here, and this is really powerful. I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's a lot of text, but basically, if you can play it for 4 and mill someone for 15 cards, which is often yourself if you're comboing, but then also your win con is to loop Jace, mill your opponent. And then you have Kethis here, which is the main driving combo engine of the deck, but also really notably, like you're playing versus Rakdos, they maybe popped a Soul Guide Lantern on you early. You only have 8 cards in the graveyard. Like Kethis can just draw you 2 cards. You can play it. You can exile 2 things. You can play 2 other things. Maybe a land drop. So Kethis is not only a really important combo piece, but it can also just be a value engine. And so then onto the one and two ofs. Two Lazov is basically saying, in this more combo focused deck, I need 2 more copies of Kethis. And this is what I'm saying with what I was saying earlier with like Takenuma or Kethis. In a late game, you have 20 cards in your graveyard. You top deck Kethis, you usually win. And that's the same for Takenuma, and it's also the same for Lazov, because you can pay 3 to have it become a copy of Kethis in your graveyard. Also, sometimes you can use Lazov to like copy a Kinnin, or you can use it to copy an Emery if you want to buy back a Chromatic Star or Relic of Legends, or maybe even a Mox Amber. So Lazov is very flexible. It's just a little bit mana intensive, but Kinnin does allow you to have a little extra mana, so good. So it's pretty fine in this deck list. Assemble the Team is almost, it's not really, it almost looks like Grizzly Salvage, but it's not very similar. I would say it's much more similar to Jace, in that when you play Jace with Kethis out, you get a tutor the top 15 cards of your library for a card. But it has to be legendary. Assemble the Team, it doesn't actually tutor 20, because a third of your deck is not 20. You have probably already gone through 15 cards, but you need to be able to find Jace, you need to be able to find Kethis, you need to be able to find the Mox Ambers. So this is kind of just a little bit of consistency that is much needed. One Urza's Ruinous Blast is basically the percentage of having 1 to having 0 is really large. Like, you have it, like, you might be able to find it in a third of your games versus none of your games, and versus a lot of decks on the ladder, it just wins. You don't need to combo off. Maybe you only have 2 Mox Ambers, so you're not able to get a ton of mana, but like, if your Elves opponent played out their entire hand onto their board, you can just get back Urza's Ruinous Blast with Kethis, which is pretty cool. You can play legendary cards, which includes legendary sorceries, and just exile your entire opponent's board. And the only 2 cards that it doesn't really hit Chromatic Star because you can just sacrifice it. So the only card in this list that it hits is Relic of Legends, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. Usually when you're playing Urza's Ruinous Blast, you're just winning the game. Last card here, Unburial Rites. Basically the idea is, if you mill your entire deck with like 2 Jaces, you just use Unburial Rites to get back Kethis. This adds a little bit of consistency, because sometimes when you're not able to find Kethis, you're able to play Jace, mill yourself for a bunch, end step of opponent, buy it back with Takenuma, Jace, mill yourself a bunch, Unburial Rites at Kethis, and then combo off from there. So a lot of these one-those are basically, the equity of having 1 is really high, but it's like a very niche card. That's very particular with Ruinous Blast and Unburial Rites. So that's the main deck, and then there's the mana base. We're playing 23 lands. Yeah, playing 23 lands with a lot of these legendary lands, because you don't really need lands past 3, which should suggest you want to play 22 or 21 lands. But when you get to play 3 Baseyu, 3 Takenuma, having those extra lands can be really useful, because like, oh, your opponent brought in Unlicensed Hearse? Alright, Baseyu that. It's gone. Having these free answers to hate is really powerful, and Takenuma's it's a spell in this deck. The regrowth is really powerful when you're milling half your deck every game before comboing, most of the time. Unless you're just playing Jace and then untapping, mill yourself for 15. And then The rest of the mana base is just trying to cast your spells as consistently as possible. You play 4 Plaza of Heroes. Almost your entire deck is legendary. It's really powerful for that. Also, late game, this doesn't come up as much as it does in, like, say, standard Esper Legends, but late game you can use it to protect one of your creatures. Though I found most of the time I have ways to spend my mana, but especially with Kinnan, this can be a nice one. Sadly, you have to play 4 Mana Confluence. The mana doesn't really work without it, because you're playing an Abzan card with a bunch of cheap blue cards and a double blue and Jace. So you need the 4 extra rainbow lands. And actually, you even kind of need the 9th rainbow land with Spire of Industry. I found Spire to actually be an overperformer. I might add a second one, because when you don't need the colored mana, which is usually just for the artifacts or for Jace, then it doesn't cost you life, and most of the time it'll tap for a color, because you're playing the 4 extra relics. But it is, like, it can be awkward, say, in, like, a blue-white control matchup where they might be able to kill your Relic of Legends. So I think 1 is probably the right number. But if I have any mana issues, or if I want to, like, maybe add 1 Jarsoul to this deck, which I'll talk about in the next build, I would probably add a second Spire. And then the rest of the mana base, you want 3 Blooming Marsh. It's just the best fast land. Basically, you want to play mostly fast lands, other than your, like, colored lands and your legendary lands. Other than your 5 color lands and legendary lands, because you're taking a lot of damage off of Mana Confluence. So 3 Blooming Marsh, 1 Darkslick Shores, 1 Botanical Sanctum, and then you don't really want more than 6 fast lands in a deck, because then you risk drawing 2, and that can be awkward in hands with sequencing if you need to play one of your 5 color lands early. So because of that, 1 Temple Garden, the math works out so that you kind of do need 1 more white source. This would be the land I would turn into a Spire, but I think with the Assemble the Team, you do kind of want the extra green source early, and without having to play out Besayu, especially post board. And then you also have 1 Watery Grave. Basically, this could be a Blooming Marsh, this could be Darkslick Shores, but I was worried about too many fast lands, so playing 1 Watery Grave. So that's the main deck. The sideboard is much less interesting in this build than the other build, but I will go through it. So let's change deck view so we can see the sideboard a little bit better. Little Arena's telling on me adding another Ancient Grudge, but I've been playing against a lot of artifacts on the ladder, and Ancient Grudge is so powerful against them, especially if they have Graveyard Hate in the forms of artifacts, because you can destroy their Graveyard Hate and then use the flashback for their threat. Though it depends. Sometimes their Graveyard Hate will, like, be able to get the Grudge from your graveyard if you use it early, but when you're milling a lot of cards, like, say you mill a bunch of cards with Jace, and your opponent has a common hate card I've played against is not Grafdigger's Cage, but the 2-mana version of it. So if you mill a bunch of cards, that doesn't actually work with Ancient Grudge. Well, Ancient Grudge is mostly just for the artifact decks. It's one of your worst matchups because they're very fast, and they usually have a little bit of disruption, so you need a little help in that matchup. I'm also playing 3 Lorens, and actually, I don't really love this against artifact decks. I will bring it in, but it's not ideal. This is largely, I largely bring this in actually game 3 when I know if my opponent's Graveyard Hate is something like an Unlicensed Hearse or Grafdigger's Cage, especially versus Rakdos, because it can also just destroy a Fable. So I've liked it there. It's a little bit hard on ladder because people's deck lists are all over the place. Some of them don't play any Graveyard Hate, and you just really don't want Lauren as an empty top deck. But actually, the you and each opponent draw card really matters in this deck. So Lauren is some great tech for the sideboard. And then you have 3 Fatal Push, 1 Lonely End. This is mostly for Rakdos, but it's also versus other aggressive decks. It's okay versus artifacts. I'll probably bring it in. But a lot of the sideboard is like, these deck lists are all over the place. You kind of have to play it by ear. But Push is very strong versus Rakdos because you just need to be able to kill Crucius. Same with Lonely End. But also, like, especially versus Jund, but also versus Rakdos, when you kill their creature, whether that's their 2-drop or their 3-drop, unless it's a Seasoned Pyromancer, you're often, like, if it's a Crucius, it's a Harvester, it's a Jarsil, it's especially a Tarmogoyf, killing their one creature can slow their clock down by 2 turns, and just, versus those Rakdos decks, you're usually actually playing the control deck in a weird way, where you're just buying time as much as possible to set up your graveyard enough. And especially like when they use when like one of their card, like when they have 2 discard spells, a creature and a Graveyard Hate piece, use a Biseu to kill the Graveyard Hate piece, you Fatal Push their creature, and you just have this infinite amount of time. And even though Rakdos top decks reasonably well, you're usually able to combo them out because you've been milling cards this entire time, whether that's like with Grizzly Salvage or Emrys that they've killed. 1 Lavinia is for Dragonstorm. I haven't played against it yet, but it's there. This is basically 1 is much greater than 0 because you can dig for it reasonably well. So I've left it there even though I haven't played against much Dragonstorm. Stonebrain is a lot of a ladder concession, just whatever the hell combo you're playing, get it out of here. I have found it to be pretty effective against Reanimator, naming Atraxa as well, though you do have to be careful if they bring in Sarah's Emissary. And then, this is my favorite part of the sideboard. 1 Lae'zel, 2 Sky Sovereign. This is the secret Rakdos tech. This is how you can, and this is how I've been stomping ladder. Versus Rakdos, you bring in 2 Sky Sovereign, 1 Lae'zel, and your matchup just flips in this incredible way where you have to combo every time. If they have 2 Graveyard Hate pieces, especially if one of them is like a Soul Guide Lantern that like maybe snags 2 of your Moxes, it can be really hard to win. But if you play this long grindy game, and either you top deck Sky Sovereign or you Kethis, just get back a Sky Sovereign, only costs 4, or a Lae'zel only costs 3, or you just have in your opening hand in their Inquisition of Kozilek, don't hit it. This can be, you can like, especially when you bring in the Fatal Pushes to stop their Tarmogoyf or their other larger creatures, Sky Sovereign can just take over the game and you can just win without the combo. And it's a really nice juke because often people go too all in on like trying to mulligan for Graveyard Hate or just trying to disrupt the combo, and then you just drop one of these threats that they can't deal with. And then you also have Gigantha, which is really helpful in that big threats that Rakdos can't deal with, because Gigantha crews Sky Sovereign, and it's also just a 5/5. If you get the Tarmogoyf, you get the Kroxa off the table, Gigantha is going to be the biggest creature out there, and they might only have Molten Impact and Fatal Push with like 2 Sheoldred's Edict as the removal, and it might be very hard for them to remove a Gigantha. Also worth noting, Gigantha can just be a huge mana engine. Casting Kethis plus in this deck, it does tap for 4 very often, casting Kethis and a blue card. So Gigantha is very powerful in this deck. So that's this version of the deck. This is the more all-in combo version. This is the version I have had more success with on ladder. Um, I got I just finally hit numbers. I had been climbing up from platinum for the past few days. But I'm gonna go show the other version, which is actually the deck I got a 7-0 metagame challenge run with. So I'll see you in the other deck list. Alright, here we go. Time for deck list number 2. And I think the first thing you should immediately notice is the curve. It is much lower. So I'm actually where I want to start is my metagame challenge 7-0, and actually where this deck shines is versus Rakdos, and you might notice no Gigantha. That does not mean there's no Gigantha in the 75. So actually this deck list starts with a Jace Wielder of Mysteries in its main deck, a lot because without Kinnan and Relic of Legends, it's much harder to combo, and often if you lose some of your legendaries, it can be very hard to Jace mill them out without Kinnan for the Moxes to add double. So you need the Jace Wielder of Mysteries to combo more consistently game 1. And Gigantha is much more of a game 2 and 3 type card when you're getting disrupted. You're getting your opponent's playing Graveyard Hate. You have to diddle daddle, try to find a Besayu. But actually, the largest change with this version is Jarsel and the Jarsel package. So Jace is here because you're cutting Kinnan and Relic of Legends to make room for actually 2 more lands, which is another Takanuma and another Otawara. Most of the mana base is very similar. But you're cutting Kinnan and Lazov and Relic of Legends to make room for this Jarsel package, which does make the deck much harder to combo with, but it makes it so much better when your opponent has the removal spell for Kethis, has the Thoughtseize for Jace, and so it's better versus Rakdos, but a little bit worse versus the fast decks, though it is actually pretty comparable to any of the fast decks that rely on cheap creatures. But like I would definitely say it's worse versus like the it's like worse versus artifacts. It's definitely worse. It's a lot worse versus like blue white control or Niv to Light. Well, not Niv, but like 5 color, not Niv to Light, just Niv. But yeah, so Jarsel, I'm not gonna read it. It has a lot of text, but if you've been playing any Historic recently, you know what it does. It's taken over the meta in Jund mid-range decks. But it's also really good here in Kethis, because don't forget, it doesn't have to only buy back instants and sorceries. It gets back Chromatic Star as well. But with the Jarsel, you do need some more cheap cards to get back with it. So you play 4 Fatal Push. This is really this makes your Elves matchup, your Goblins matchup, your Wizards matchup, even your Rakdos matchup a good amount better main board. And then you also play these 2 discard spells. They're just generally powerful, and you do need a few more cards with Jarsel, or else you won't get full value. Because I am playing full 4. The Arena Championship deck lists are only on 3, but I like the full 4 because I haven't found a need for Soulguide Lantern on the Arena ladder. There's just not so much Reanimator, and I've yet to play a mirror match. So yeah, Jarsel can buy back Chromatic Star, a little card advantage, can buy back Fatal Push, kill some things. Something I notice is sometimes versus especially post board versus goblins, they exile your graveyard, or not even exile your graveyard. They just kill your Emery, and I've played against some goblins decks that Thoughtseize my Kethis, but then I just Fatal Push their guy, Jarsel, Fatal Push their other guy, and now I just have infinite time because they had to use 2 of their cards to disrupt my combo and my game plan. And once they are using their resources to disrupt you, Jarsel getting back a fatal push or a discard spell is so much more powerful because it doesn't need to carry all the weight. It just needs to hit them while they are not going at their like you just need you hit them while they're down on their game plan. Their game plan, they're taking a little slow. They're not getting out of the gate so fast. You double fatal push them, one regular, one with Jarsel. It might mean that they're on top deck mode at that point. And then, so yeah, that's the main deck. It's very similar. Still playing 4 Emery, 4 Kethis, 4 Jace the Perfected Mind, 4 Grizzly Salvage, 4 Chromatic Star, 4 Mox Amber. And then really only, it's playing 11 different cards, but it also is adding 2 lands to go with the Jarsel mid-range plan, because you're just not gonna, you need to hit your land drops much more in this deck. Like you often want your 4th land drop in this deck. And also, getting the 4th Takenuma, getting the 2nd Otawara is not something to, like it is quite good. And so it's like you're not even really adding 2 extra lands. You're adding another, like you're adding a good answer to like Karn. You're adding another and Takenuma is much more powerful in this deck when you have another good hit in Jarsel. So this deck is a little bit slower, looking a little bit more to just play, sometimes win a fair plan. But this deck is just kind of completely built around abusing Jarsel, which is a really powerful card. It is of to note that your only 2-drop is Grizzly Salvage, so if you don't find one, either by playing it or milling it over with Emery and Jace, sometimes your Jarsel can get stuck on 1. But I haven't found it to be too much of an issue, especially post-board when you can add in a few more 2-drops. The sideboard is actually quite different in this one. There's a lot more one-ofs. There's a lot more answers to unique decks. Because this deck isn't all-in in combo, you often are looking to answer your opponent's game plan before you focus on yours. So, and most of the time you still are the, I guess, not really the beatdown, but most of the time you are the faster combo deck, but often the reason you are the faster combo deck is bringing in the correct disruption elements. And so whether that's Arasta versus Wizards, Wormcoil versus Creature decks, Assassin's Trophy, Cankerbloom, Ancient Grudge, for whatever graveyard hate they have, Soul Guide Lantern against Reanimator, Thoughtseize versus Control or Niv, Cling to Dust versus Reanimator or other graveyard decks. But then, my favorite part of the sideboard, again, 2 Sky Sovereigns and a Lae'zel. But also, notice, Gigantha, that is not Game 1 companioned. Versus Rakdos, you take out Jace, you take out the 2 discard spells as bad top decks, you add in the 2 Sky Sovereigns, you add in the Lae'zel, and you add in the 2 Lonely Ends, and all of a sudden, you can win a long game. So, that's really powerful. It's very similar. It's a very similar transformational sideboard as the other deck, though this one's even more transformational as you do get to add in the Gigantha, because you do kind of need to play the Jace main board, or else your combo gets a little bit sketchy, and you can teeter out versus in like Jace. You need Jace to have your deck be fast enough game 1, but when you're, because like sometimes you need to, like, without kidding, you might just not have enough legendaries in graveyard to mill them out, especially when your legendary density got lower, adding in the 4 fatal push, the 2 discard spells. But game 2 and 3, they're often going to go slower as you each disrupt each other, so you don't need the Jace nearly as much. Though, in many matchups, I will keep Jason basically any matchup where it's a race, I'm keeping Jason. So artifacts, goblins, elves, I'm not gonna companion Jegantha. So yeah, that's the two decks. I'll play a few games with each. Hopefully we can get into the numbers. I'm currently at 99%. I was very low numbers last night, like 1500. So hopefully we can get maybe into the top 1200 today, with stringing a few wins together, and I'm definitely gonna go for like top 250, and if I get there, I'll definitely post a second video, with probably a YouTube short with an updated deck list. But yeah, see you in the games. All right, time for our first match, playing someone in 93% Mythic. So let's not lose. Oh boy. So I would probably keep this hand if one of these Relic of Legends. For sure, I'd keep this hand if one of the Relic of Legends was Emery. I would keep if one of the relics was Kinnan. I don't think I can keep with just Lazov because it's dangerous. Like, I kind of need the third land drop as well, so I think this has to be a mulligan. And I guess I'll keep this, put away the rights. This hand isn't a ton better, but the last hand, I would keep the last hand on the draw. It's just a little risky on the play. I'm gonna play Industry, so I don't have to crack Star if I top deck Grizzly Salvage. I am starting with the Andre Strosky build with Kinnan. Oh, Inquisition, that's not good. Alright, I probably just have to go for Plaza, colorless. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go like this and pass, and I'll crack them both next turn. Mostly because I can play my 3-drops next turn. Okay, and if they have a second discard spell, it doesn't do a lot. Well, that's good. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna play this while it's 1 mana. I will mill. Okay, they have a removal spell, but Fatal Push doesn't kill this. Oh no, opponent. Oh no. Oh no, no, opponent. You really didn't do that, did you? And I think I'll crack a Star here. I think I'll play Besayu first. I guess I should do this, and I think, well, actually, let's see. If I filter into blue, I can't. Okay, so I should just filter this to green, because if I hit Lazov, I can't play it, but if I hit Salvage or Assemble, I can play it. So I should just go like this, green. And if I hit Lazov, I can just filter again. Okay, I'll play another Star and I'll just pass. Because the sacking them does have synergy if I top deck Kinnan. There's no real reason to just crack him when I don't have... okay. Alright, opponent. There's no real reason to just pop him when I don't have anything else to do. I played my Besayu over my Takenuma and you just play main deck Unlicensed Hearse? Alright, this might be a Jegantha game. I guess I got punished for playing Besayu, but I thought that versus Rakdos Takenuma would have more value. Alright. Let's see what we can get here. Grizzly. Alright, I guess I just play it. I'm looking for Lazov, maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna go like this. Okay. I'll just take a land, and I think I'm going to... Maybe I should have bought Jegantha, but I think I'm just going to play pause, crack one for black. Yeah, I'll crack one for black, cast Salvage or Lazav. Okay. Alright. This hearse is gonna be unfortunate. I'm probably gonna save this Takenuma if possible. Yeah, I don't. If I just had Baseyu, I'd be in a good spot. Pop both stars. But at this point, I kind of need to top. I kind of really want to. I really want to top deck a Kinnan here so I can do some stuff. Do I have 4 legends? 4 creatures in the graveyard? I do not. I just have an Emery. Okay, they're gonna exile Emery Baseyu. Do I have any Baseyus left? I have 1. God, I got really punished for playing that Baseyu out. It sucks. Alright. Let's go for a blue. I guess. Just keep. I think I like my colors, so I'll just go like this. If I top deck Salvage, I can play Amber. Alright. Tap land by Gigantha. And I won't play out my Moxes because if they have ways to kill them with like artifact removal, then I don't have any real reason to play them out now. I'm fine if they use discard spells on them. Maybe I should. Yeah, I'm fine because I have 2. So if they use 2 discard spells on them, that's fine. They need to top deck those discard spells, and any Thoughtseize would be on Gigantha. All right. So they're playing Arcanist. I guess Hearse makes a little bit of sense in Arcanist. God, really? They just have a main deck Hearse? I wouldn't have really top decked into anything, but I would have been able to, because I would have had to play my Takenuma. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this game, and gonna be unfortunate. Do I play? So I definitely play Gigantha. The question is whether I play Takenuma, double Mox, Relic. How do I get out of this? I top deck a way to make. This Shieldred is bad because it's just a fast clock. I could just run out Relic, but then I lose my one of my Mox Ambers, which is no good. Yeah. Alright. I'm not gonna have time for this Takenuma, so I will play the Takenuma out, mostly because this Shieldred means I am a little short on time, and it's not great into Hearse anyways. And this Hearse is now a 6/6, so they can attack with it. Though attacking with it is a little bit greedy because they don't know that I don't have any action in hand. So they probably shouldn't be attacking with it, but they might. Okay, yeah. If I'd played Takenuma, Baseyud, I mean, it's not like this Hearse has done anything this game, really. Yes, a bunch of my stuff has gone exiled, but I would have played the Takenuma, so it's not like, I guess basically this Hearse has meant that I can't top deck something to win. I think I have to block, because I guess I don't die next turn if they don't attack with her. I might die next turn if they attack with Hearse. Alright, so let's play Mox. I'm looking to play Kinnan and have Plaza activation up. Yep, I have Plaza activation up. I don't want to put stuff on the stack in a way that I don't have Plaza activation up, so I guess I'm going to tap this for double blue and play my other Mox. Getting Relic down doesn't matter that much. I guess if they have the instant speed removal spell, they have it. I can't really play around anything here. I just need to hope to top deck, like, Jace. I need to hope to top deck, like, Jace, Mill, some insane stuff, draw Kethis. They probably can't attack with Hearse, and I do have Plaza to block. Attacking with Hearse is a bit greedy. But, yeah. I don't know. Like, this Hearse means I have no outs, is the problem. If I had a bunch of cards in my graveyard, I would think, oh, I just top deck. If all these cards were in my graveyard, I think, oh, I top deck Kethis, another Takenuma, or like probably like, and I just win, or like I top deck a Jace and I just win. Yeah, they get a copy Seasoned Pyromancer, discard another Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. If they attack in a way that doesn't kill me, like, I just need to try to win next turn. I can't survive infinitely. I think I have to take this and go for the win with most mana possible. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what I could top deck. The problem is they're so likely to have interaction because of this Crucius. Yeah, okay, so they just discard Fable. I guess I don't know whether they want greater or lesser. I would assume lesser. I would like need to. Okay. I mean, maybe we go somewhere. Let's go like this. I don't see how we do this. Maybe if I hit, maybe I can find Kethis off this Kinnan. If I find Kethis off this Kinnan, maybe we can do something. Okay. They only get 2 exiles. They only get 2 exiles. So I actually think I'm gonna play Amber first, because I think my out is that they hearse both my Ambers, and then I can loop Emeries. Or if they hearse now, maybe I can exile the 2 cards they hearse. Yeah, this is a bit unfortunate. Wait, 1, 2... Yeah, they exile then that. So there's no reason not to go like this. Right? Yeah. Mox and Emery. Maybe I can hit a second Emery from the Kinnan activation? I guess that's it. Okay, let's tap this for blue. Alright, if I hit a second Emery, maybe I have chances here. I shouldn't play the Takenuma because the legendary card might matter in my graveyard. Let's see, Emery. Lazov. Okay, Lazov mill something. I have a second Mox. If I mill... That's not it. Can I survive next turn? Maybe. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. Like, I play my Basayo because, like, oh, I'm playing Rakdos. I want to hit my land drops. I want to eventually use Takenuma. But my opponent just... Yeah, there's nothing to do here. I exile 2 things. I exile Kinnan, Kethis, get back Amber. is 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. It's not enough for another activation. Alright, maybe I'm not dead. I'm probably dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'm dead. If they copy and attack with all. No, yeah. Okay, so this game was just unfortunate. What was I supposed to do? Like, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Like, I mean, okay, so they have a removal spell. Cannot become Kethis. Alright. Think I'm dead. If they attack with Car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm dead even without it. Yeah, game was unfortunate. Very close to comboing. If I had hit a second Emery off of that Kinnan, I would have won. Are very likely to win because I can loop them, adding mana with Relic. Alright, I guess I get that game plan versus Rakdos I was talking about. They have hers main deck. Alright, well I definitely want these two. That. I don't want this. Don't want this. Don't want Assemble. It's slow. The question is so they're not playing Jund, they don't have Goy, but I want Push for Shieldred. And if they're playing a bunch of stuff, I probably want Lauren. I'm playing a bunch. How many? I think I can cut one land. I'll cut the Spire. Don't think I want all 3 Fatal Push. I don't think I want all 3 Lauren. Don't think I want all 3 Relics. Don't think. The question is what do I can't play all of this. I think maybe the Lae'zel is not going to be good here. Yeah, I think versus a deck with a bunch of Shieldreds, I'm just going to have less time. So, the mid-range plan isn't as good. The Fatal Push does help with that. Maybe this is not a good Sky Sovereign matchup, but they're just going to play a bunch of Shieldreds and a bunch of... But it looks like they're probably going to have a bunch of Graveyard Hate. It's good versus Arcanist. Actually, I probably want all 4 pushes because of Arcanist. I think I maybe want to take out Lauren. Like, hers just doesn't do a lot. You saw there, like... I almost could have comboed through it. If I had one better top deck during that game, I hit Emery off of that Kinnan, I would have just won through a hearse on like turn 6 or something. So, interesting. That was unfortunate. That was really unfortunate. Alright, I'm not going to mulligan versus Rakdos, and probably some of these Kinnans are going to meet some bad fates, but I do like, I really don't want 2 Relics versus Rakdos, but the first Relic versus Rakdos is strong. Oh, they're going to take Relic with this Thoughtseize, aren't they? Unless they're really scared and they take Sky Sovereign. If I get to Sky Sovereign, it probably wins me the game. But I'm not liking my chances. This hand is, like, okay. I have to keep it because I'm on the play versus Rakdos. Alright. Deck. Why you give me the literal worst draw? This is not looking good. They probably have to kill one of these Kinnans. Okay, so they just have Hearse on 2. Yeah, I'm having... Yeah, this is great. I have good chances this game. Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Like, I just draw literal worst in the deck, and my opponent has Thoughtseize into Hearse. This just sucks. Oh, God, man. And I don't have Revolt for this Fatal Push. I mean, my opponent has a literal perfect curve. There's not a lot. This is the thing when you're playing against Rakdos. Sometimes they just have every answer. Yeah, this is so bad. What the hell? Deck? Hello? I have to keep that hand because going down cards versus Rakdos is just so bad. Alright, yeah. Yeah. Man. Alright. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, like, was I supposed to mulligan the hand? Maybe the extra kittens are just dead enough. Yeah, they just don't care about the kittens. This is alright. I hear you, deck. I hear you. You hate me right now. Alright, I got it. Number 1800. I guess 99% and numbers are the same. I don't know. Alright. Let's hope our deck is a little bit nicer to us this game. Alright, I'm gonna mulligan this. Second Lazav doesn't do a ton, it's a 4-lander. Alright, I like this better. I'll keep one Kinnan. Yorian probably means some sort of control deck. No, I'm not gonna say hello to you, opponent. I guess I'm playing Kinnan because Spire doesn't tap for anything. Okay, I will... Am I still... Okay, well, I'm playing Plaza for sure instead of Besayu. Question is Kinnan or Lazav. If I play Kinnan, I can play Lazav following, but if I play Lazav, I can... Yeah, I'm gonna play Lazav, because Kinnan... Playing Kinnan here doesn't do anything. Okay, I'll keep Star. Mostly I've just been Star, but with a Kinnan out, I like it. I can go like this. Store up a bunch of mana for next turn. I don't know what my opponent's doing, but they're on mono triomes. They're probably playing some sort of Leyline Binding deck. Just play Star. Pass. I'll attack them for 1, I guess. The attack for 1 doesn't really do a ton, but there's no reason not to. No Snapcaster yet. Okay, so yeah, they're just gonna play Growth Spiral. All triomes, mono triomes. Any turn 2 Emery start would be so good versus their start, but we have what we have. And next turn I have... Okay, so they're playing Niv. Makes sense. They're playing Yorian Niv, I guess. Okay, unfortunate draw. Alright, I'm just gonna play this. And I guess I'm activating? I don't have enough to activate. I guess I'm just making double blue, I think. Yeah, I can cast whatever else. Well, yeah. No, I should make double green, because if I draw Jace, I still can cast it only off of only Relic, and I can cast Salvage off of only Relic. So they usually play like Deafening Clarion. I'm not just gonna run out. I don't want to just run out Kethis. 1, 2, 3, 4, not enough. Okay. I'm not just gonna run out Kethis. I don't think it's worth it. It doesn't do anything. I need to find some way to like mill some cards or something. I could have activated Kinnan over buying Gigantha, but I do think buying Gigantha matters because I can contest their Kavu. Kavu is by far... Okay. They're playing the Thieving deck. Alright. This makes a bunch of treasures. Yeah. And you can pay 5. So I guess basically if you get a Niv down there, you can just cast a Niv for free. I mean, you don't cast it for free. Like, if you put a Niv under it, it's like having a Niv in your hand. But you have to play a spell first. Yeah. See, this is exactly why I didn't just run out Kethis. Deal 3. Lifelink. They probably should exile one of my cards. Yeah, they should exile probably Kinnan, but could be Lazav. Yep. Alright. Let's see what we draw. This is one of the constraints of these decks. You are pretty tied up to what you draw. So the question is, do I want to Besayu this Thieving? So the other enchantment or artifact they probably play is Binding, Leyland Binding. And I think away I do lose if they're like, I guess, yeah. I don't think I'm just gonna be able to go all in on the combo this game. I just haven't had any gas. I might just play Kethis here. I don't like just playing Kethis here. Alright, I'm gonna just destroy the Thieving. And I'm gonna, like, maybe they have Binding, but I don't really care that much about this Gigantha. My way of winning this game is to top deck Jace, or Salvage, or Emery. Like, I have a lot of great top decks. I just need to top deck one of my ways to mill cards. Kinnan potentially even is good enough. Because I have enough to activate. And then if I hit, yeah. If my Gigantha doesn't die, I have enough to play Kinnan, activate, and as long as I hit something, play Kethis afterwards. This is where Jace is really good. Oh, damn. Okay, that's good for them. And bad for me. That's all my mana. Okay, they get to discard 2 lands. Though, them just main phasing this and discarding cards makes me think that they need a way. Yeah, and them discarding cards over exiling stuff from my graveyard makes them, yeah, they're out of gas. I'm gonna block here to just buy infinite time. Hopefully no more Kavu. Hopefully no Kavu. Yeah, no Kavu, please. One time. No Kavu. Nice. All right. So, Kethis. We do have 3 legends. I can play Kethis, exile 2 things, play Lazav. Alright, I guess that's what I'm doing this turn. I'm going to tap this for green. This for black. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm not going to have Salvage this turn. So, just having mana for Lazav. Alright, so they have something instant speed. Probably Binding. But could also be Growth Spiral. I'm just gonna play Lazav. I don't have... Wait, I have enough for Gigantha? I have enough for Gigantha? I should just play Gigantha. Yeah, I should just play Gigantha. It's a ton of mana. If they kill Kethis in response, then I don't get to play Gigantha, but that's fine. The Lazav doesn't do a ton here, and the 5/5 does matter. Because this can race the Yorion set 8v4, even if I start this much lower. This does race the Yorion pretty effectively. So they just slam Yorion. The battle, we're playing high power Magic, the battle of 4 mana 4/5 flyers and 5 mana 5/5s. Alright, I'm gonna attack with Gigantha, and I'm not that scared about my stuff getting removed. Okay, yeah, I'll just use Plaza here. This is fine. This is where Plaza is so busted. I just have, like, yeah, okay, we're top decking. I just have a bunch of blank, I can just blank all your removal spells. Go down to 19. I go down to 10. They go down to 11. I go down to 6. They go down to... Yeah. So I win this race if nothing happens. Obviously, they play a bunch of big creatures and a bunch of removal spells. They need to draw a removal spell now, or else I'll have my second Plaza up, but it wouldn't be that hard for them to... Like, a large chunk of their deck is a way to kill my cards. Okay. Triomes. Them being able to cycle Triomes is pretty good for them. Alright, so I'm not playing Jarsoul in this list, so I should hit first, make sure I get my damage through. Because I do think this damage does matter. They go to 11. If I draw a creature, they could just die next turn. Yeah, I do want to... I should try to preserve life total off of my pain lands. This taps for anything but blue. I think I'll just cycle this blue. I'll cycle this into blue. Let's see what we get. Anything good? Anything good? That's something good. That's a creature. Alright. I don't have Plaza activation up anymore, but if they drew a removal spell, they would just do it there. They have Helix. Okay, that's annoying. The race is still in my favor, but now basically any top deck means the race is in their favor. I need to draw something good. Any mill card means... Oh. Okay, they kill... Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would kill Kethis, but Gigantha is definitely the right call. I don't... Honestly, there's a conversation for just helixing me. No, do they still lose that race? No, they win the race if they go down. Yeah, they win the race if they helixed me. Oh, damn. Alright. Oh, wait, okay, so I was thinking that was really bad, but I can use Kethis' ability to buy back Gigantha. So I'm not just dead next turn. Or I'm not just chump blocking with Kethis. But like, here is like, okay, do I top deck something? The answer is no. This. I can still play Gigantha Painless. Yeah, I think getting this down is worth it. It means top decking Emery probably also wins. Having to exile a bunch of... Wait, do I want to just get Kinnan? An activation. I get Kinnan. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. I don't have enough mana to activate. Alright, so I should just get Gigantha. Block. Yeah, I don't have enough mana to Kinnan plus activate. Do I? Right? 1, 2, and then 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm 1 short. Okay. I mean, next turn, do I top deck a way out of this? Yeah, and I would rather tap Kethis over paying a life. If I have to jump block with Kethis, I'm just gonna lose either way. And like, if I just need to top deck any, like, if I top deck Jace, I very high percentage to win. I top deck Emery. I have chances. Wait, really? Opponent? Alright, they get a Helix, so I'm dead. My deck is really not being kind to me. Might just be 2 losses with this version and try to recoup with the other version. Versus Niv, I do not like the transformational sideboard. A lot of it is a race against time with their big creatures. I think I want Lauren versus Thieving, Binding, and assumedly some Graveyard Hate that they'll bring in. So I'll bring in Lauren. Blast is bad. Rights is maybe good here. He's just so bad against Graveyard Hate. Yeah, it's just so bad against Graveyard Hate. So I'll take that out. I think I'd rather have Lauren over Assemble the Team. The question is, and I don't think I want Fatal Push because the only card it hits is Kavu. So I'll just run it like this. You have to remember, Emry's a 2-drop most of the time. Alright, yeah, that game was unfortunate. If I just drawn literally any way to mill any cards, I would have won. Hopefully we get a good displaying with this deck because it just hasn't ever been able to do its thing yet. Alright, I do like this hand. It doesn't actually cast Salvage, but it casts Kinnan and it casts... I do like... as if they don't have Kavu, Jace can just sit on an empty board. Draw myself a few cards. I don't think I want to just slam out Mox Amber because they might have Divine Purge, which does just ruin my Amber forever. Okay, so I really need to draw a way to... I really need to draw a Black Source. Yeah, I really need to draw a Black Source. Playing Mox Amber doesn't actually let me cast Lazov. Okay, so they just have it? God. It's really unfortunate when they just have Kavu on too. It's the worst thing for a deck. Okay, so I think I'm just going like this. Going like this. Going like this. I think I want to just Jace for 4. Hope and minus here. If they hit my Jace for 2, that's okay. I'll just deal with that. If they play a Triumph, hit my Jace for 2, I'll probably just mill myself for 12. But if they only have a way to grow it by 1, oops, do they mess up their iteration? Yeah. Oh, they don't even have a way to grow it? Okay, that's really good for us. Very, very good. This is the awkward thing about Jace. I kind of want to use him next turn, but if I use him, then I don't get to keep the Kavu small, but I think it's worth using Jace. So they're going to discard Draw, discard Verdict because they have none of the white mana. Alright, let's see what we get. If I find... Alright, so I'm going to make black off of Basayu. Yeah, I like that. And I do want to see what I draw. If I draw Kinnan, I'll just play it and win. Oh. Interesting. This plays Salvage? Yeah. This is mana neutral here. Yeah, actually I do like leaving a bunch of blue up. Kethis. Green. Yeah, I can play Kethis. I will mill myself, make sure I hit a Mox first. If I don't, I'd rather play Lazov and keep Kethis in hand. Oh yeah, but I hit multiple Mox. Alright. This is the combo. Deck went off. This is a turn 3 combo? Wait, I think this is a turn 3 combo. This deck is capable of it. It's pretty hard, but it's definitely capable of it. I don't have a land drop, I don't think. Yeah, my opponent was... Oh no, my opponent was on the... Did I miss my second land? I played Kinnan into an empty board. The next turn I played stuff. Yeah, this is turn 4. Alright, so this is how the combo works. You play Jace. Don't worry about the rope. It's going to be a little stressful, but you're usually fine because like you saw, taking these actions stopped the rope. Alright, so I'll just use these Emerys to mill the rest of my deck out. I usually just deck myself first, so I just don't have to worry about it. There are some situations where you might not want to completely deck yourself, so I won't. Like, there's a very small chance I have to pass back. For some, like, maybe they are able to play a way to shuffle a few cards into their library. So usually it's correct to leave a few cards in your library, but usually it doesn't matter. Alright, and because they're playing Yorion, it'll take a few more Jaces to mill them out, but we'll be fine. This is where, like, in the other version of the deck without Kinnan, you probably wouldn't be able to do it if you had taken out the other Jace. That doesn't, the like, Thassa's Oracle Jace. But, okay, yeah. Opponent salty. Bro, how are you salty? I'm playing my deck. What do we see? Just Niv stuff. Assemble the Team is kind of cool in their deck. Playing Helix, playing Clarion, playing Prismari Command. Prismari Command is annoying because it means my artifacts aren't safe, but it's good to know. It's a reason not to just run out Mox Amber. Thought Erasure, Tyrant Scorn. Alright. Do I want to change anything? They keep in the Thievings? Maybe I don't want 4 Lauren? I could bring in something over 1 Lauren. I guess it would just be assemble the team over a Lauren. Looks like they probably brought out thieving. Okay, so I'll bring in 1 assemble the team over 1 Lauren. Lauren's mostly just here to hit Leyline Binding or potential graveyard hate. So, let's see. Alright, I'm probably have to keep, like, it's kind of hard to mulligan these hands that are just turn to Grizzly Salvage, and Besayu is probably a spell here. I'm looking for, like, a... Okay, so I'll play Blooming, but I'll probably just slam Kinnan next turn over Salvage. Depends what they play. Oh, they have a Thought Erasure? Alright, so they probably just take Kethis here. Kethis is probably the safe bet for them. But Sanctum was a good draw because I do generally like just slamming creatures on turn 2 over Grizzly Salvage. Want to play a little bit around Graveyard Hate, but also not exactly sure what I want here. Like, do I... Okay, so they take Salvage. Interesting. This suggests to me they have a lot of removal in their hand. And they left on top. They don't have white mana yet, but... Okay, so they play Expressive Iteration. I need something here. Star would be good. Okay, they still don't have white. Oh, Relic is good. Alright, so I'll play Blooming Marsh. Play Relic. Buy Gigantha? Or use Takenuma. I guess I'll buy Gigantha over use Takenuma when I don't have anything in the graveyard yet. And I do like having this Besayu here. I will probably play Takenuma over Besayu because I do think hitting Leyline Binding could be important. Our opponent doesn't have white mana. Okay, now they do have white mana. I am, like, kind of scared. Our slow was a little bit Our start was a little bit slow. We might just get nived. Alright, so if they have Mystical Dispute, I can't pay. If they have Mystical Dispute, I can pay. Mystical Dispute 1. Alright, do I play around Mystical Dispute? I probably should. I probably should play around Mystical Dispute. Takenuma might matter, but I think if I got disputed there, the game's mostly just over. And I still have a bunch of action. I'm not gonna just run out Kethis for reasons I have spoken a lot about. I don't just like running out Kethis. Alright, they have Binding, but I have this Besayu. I'll probably just do it end of their turn. I don't want to give them mana on their turn. If they play land, slam, Niv, I'll Besayu them. Hopefully untapping. Okay. I need ways to mill cards. I think I had to play Takenuma there. Let's see. What do they have? I guess maybe I shouldn't have played around Dispute. Okay, they're gonna get... Yeah. Okay. They have to discard? But I have to do this now. Stops don't happen in cleanup. That's not how cleanup works. Alright, I'll get back in. I can use Gigantha to cast Kethis, and I do get a usable mana. I want my usable mana to be blue. Yeah, so I guess I just activate. Yeah, I just activate. Hope to find something. Nothing. Nothing, really? Nothing. Nothing. Really? Nothing? Nothing? Just nothing. I really wanted an Emery there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because this Gigantha... Yeah, 1, 2. All my stuff's gonna die on their turn. This sucks. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not drawing anything. Like, look, this is like something I really believe in. I lost the games I haven't drawn Jace. I won the game I drew Jace. I mean, I haven't lost this yet, but it's hard to imagine how I get back into this. This is just so bad. It's hard to imagine how I get back into this. If they just Tyrant score and bounce my Gigantha. That Prismari command is so busted versus me. Maybe they'll just Tyrant score on my turn. Tyrant scoring on my turn is kinda greedy. Oh boy. Am I going places? I'm gonna be going places. I don't have white mana? Oh, that's hella awkward. I don't have white mana. I don't have white mana. So I can't replay Kethis after this. Like, I can't activate... Oh, wait, sorry. I don't have a second Kethis. So never mind. This doesn't work. So Kethis is just going to die. I forgot they can kill, not bounce. So I guess I just get a Kinnin. Yeah, I just have to do this. God, if I still had that Relic in play, this would be so much better. Oh my god. Did I really just mill all those good cards? And draw nothing? Did I really just mill Kethis? If I draw a land next turn, I'm gonna be so pissed. Did I really just mill 2 Kethis and Jace? Because Lazav is just another copy of Kethis. Did you really? And Jace? I really just milled that? And I have no artifacts? Oh no, I have a relic. Alright, so they're probably gonna just casualties, Emery, Mox, and one of my lands. This sucks, man. Wait, I don't think they can no, they can casualty. It's easy. They have 2 black on their 2 shock lands. They have 2 green on their 2 triomes. Okay, they assemble the team. This reads to me like they must have other removal in their hand. Or they're just looking for a Deafening Clarion. This is really bad, man. Maybe I shouldn't have played Kethis there. I forgot it's a kill, not a bounce. I was thinking about Gigantha. I don't think damage matters because they go to 11. I go to 8. Oh, maybe damage mattered. But if I didn't do that there, they just still have it. Wait, was that a Helix? Did Arena just bug and show me that? Does this sleeve look like Helix? Kinda does, I guess. Really? Opponent 2? Yeah. I mean, there's not much to do here unless I draw Jace. Huh. How much mana do I have? Alright. Alright, how much mana do I have? I have Relic, so I have a lot. Good game. Yeah, okay, so that top deck was just perfect. Okay, never mind. All is forgiven deck. All is forgiven. I don't just win. I could whiff on this Jace, but it would be really hard to whiff on this Jace because I just need to hit more legends. Like, if I just hit, like, any legends, I win. I would have to hit, like, all lands and artifacts. Okay, yeah, we did not whiff, I don't think. Yeah, we did not whiff. We did not whiff. We have another Mox, and we have some Jaces. Do a little bit of milling. It's not trivial because we don't, but I think this should be a pretty easy win. Yeah, I'll just yeah. It's pretty easy. We just Jace. I was wondering if we were going to be close to short on cards to mill them out, but then I realized we're not because I had forgotten that we had all the Moxes left. Because they destroyed one of our Moxes, but it went to our graveyard, so it's fine. So yeah, okay. I kept complaining, and then the deck pulled through. And this is really the power of the deck. Our opponent had complete control. They were killing all our things, but we milled a little bit, and then we top decked one Kethis with some mana in play, which, like, we were able to hit our lane drops. We had a Gigantha. If they had killed our Gigantha, we wouldn't have been able to go off there because they didn't have white mana. But because they left our Gigantha alive, I was able to top deck Kethis, play it using Gigantha mana, and then get a Relic back with Emery. That wasn't necessary. I was just able to use Gigantha to play Kethis, play Jace, mill myself, play some more Jace. the relic was there because I need a little bit of mana, but I did actually hit the Mox off of the first Jace, so it's fine. Alright, time for one last match with this version of the deck. Hopefully we can get a good matchup, a good game. I do like this hand. Turn 1 star, turn 2 Emery. If we draw land, turn 3 Kinnan Crack star. Ooh. This hand just got way better. I'm going to play Mana Confluence because if I top deck land next turn, I do kind of want to keep the Basayu because it looks like they're playing, they're playing some sort of artifact deck. So they might have Karn targets, but yeah. Okay, if they just go like this, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like... I'm gonna make blue, and I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna play Jace. Yeah, I'm gonna play Jace. I don't get to play Emery, but I do think milling myself is pretty important. Okay, yeah. This is a turn 4 kill, probably. If they slam Karn, it gets difficult. But I do have pressure on the Karn currently. And I do like just getting Jace down. Oh, they're playing like some sort of combo deck. Oh boy. Alright, it's going to be really hard to win here. Well, is it? I have 2 Ambers. Do I just go for it? Amber tap for blue. Amber tap for blue. I have... Okay, let's see what we mill. I guess I can play Emery as well as Jace. If I hit a legend off of this Jace mill, I win. Maybe? Alright, I'm gonna go for it. Is this at the turn 3 win? Let's see. I guess I get Emery, so I don't have to exile an Amber, hopefully. This might be a turn 3 win. Okay, one of my legends, Lazav, Jace. Yeah, I think this is a turn 3 kill. Damn, an actual turn 3 kill. This is awesome. This hand is, playing Jace. Maybe it was, I like playing Jace there because it means I get I get the value no matter, like, if they untap and if it turns out they're not artifact, if they untap and like kill my Kinnan, playing Jace is so much better than playing Emery because then I just have it out. Obviously, if, like, I don't know, like, if, I don't know, I think playing Jace there is correct. Maybe, there's definitely an argument for just playing Emery, save the star, play Jace for 4 next turn, but, alright, wow, turn 3 combo. Alright, so just going to mill ourselves a little. We do a little milling. Alright, and now we can start chasing them. Now that we have plenty of legends in our graveyard. Alright. And this matchup is, like, I'm very glad we were able to win there because this matchup is, as long as they're playing Karn, like, Karn can be really hard for us to deal with. Yeah, they're playing Karn. They're just playing Ulamog. Alright. Luckily, the Shuffle Eldrazi are not in this format. Though, I have gotten, like, I have had opponents, I had one opponent play Gaia's Blessing versus me before, which was pretty hilarious. Alright, so just milling them out. This is a common pattern. You gotta play 2 Jaces every Kethis loop with your 3 Moxes, making 6. Alright, let's see what their deck is. Just a mono brown. Mono brown. Let's see. I have way to kill Karn. I'm gonna need that. Get all my ancient grudges. Not gonna want blast. Not gonna want rights. Well, maybe I want rights. It's a fast way to combo. I don't want blast because they have a bunch of legendary planeswalkers in their deck and Forsaken Monument. I guess I probably want Lauren. Yeah, Lauren seems good here. If I can find room for Lauren. I didn't expect having to bring in Lauren and Grudge, because I don't particularly like Lauren versus Artifacts. It's fine, but not the best. What are not fast combo cards? I guess I'm just not bringing in all the Laurens. I'll trim. What am I trimming? I guess I'll trim a Lazav. Actually, I can cut the Lazavs. My stuff's not gonna die in this matchup. Yeah, okay. I like it like this. Can I find a way to get the last Lauren in? 1 cut for a Lauren. Okay, I'll cut 1 salvage for Lauren. Because I think Lauren's, like, I just think any artifact removal is really strong against them. Because if I just kill their, like, if I can just kill their mana ramp, then they might have a bunch of dead cards. Okay, this is a 4-lander. I'm not gonna keep it. And like, yeah, like, if I had an Ancient Grudge and a way to cast it in that hand, I probably would have kept. Alright, I'll keep this. I think I'm putting away Kethis. I like having an answer to Karn, my only one in my deck. Alright, Star was a good draw there, because it means I can play Kinnan. Ooh, Scavenger Grounds. Ooh. Field of Ruin. Uh-oh. I don't like a Field of Ruin. The more I look at their deck, the more I think, wow, this is a bad matchup. They play a bunch of lands that are just, like, Field of Ruin is just Stone Rain. I don't play basics. Scavenger Grounds is Graveyard Hate. If they just Field of Ruin me here, I probably lose. Okay, but oh, now they're gonna Field of Ruin me? They don't Field of Ruin me. Interesting. Alright, so if I can't play Kethis plus Salvage, so I guess I'm just casting Salvage. And I probably want to leave up green in case I decide I want to Viseyu, if I just only find lands. Maybe blue if I draw something. Oh. Yeah. Well. I waste so much mana otherwise. Yeah. I'm gonna need the draw as well. Right, so I'll hit Idle, because I guess they just sack Mind Stone to draw. I just hit Idle. And I guess I might just Viseyu their grounds. Yeah, if they Field of Ruin me, I'll probably just Viseyu their Scavenged Grounds. Well, the problem is then I don't have a land for salvage. This is hard. Let's see what they hit. Okay, so they hit there. Alright, I have faith in my deck. I think I'll find a land with either Lauren or my draw to cast Salvage. And I think my only way to win here is comboing because I'm going to get Field of Ruined. If I get double... well, the problem is if they Field of Ruined me again. The problem is if they Field of Ruined me again. Because they're going to know I don't have basics. Huh. This is really difficult. I need to Besayu something. The question... I guess I just have to hit Field of Ruin so I can cast my spells. Yeah, I just can't get Stone Rained. This is kind of like 2 mana. It's like Ramp here almost, because they're going to know I don't have lands. And, oh, Besayu, they don't even get a land with Besayu because with a land with a basic land type, does a waste doesn't count? Or, oh, they might only play 1 wastes. Alright, they play Hedron Archive, they play Guardian Idol. See, I had faith. The deck delivered. Let's draw first. Alright, I guess I'm just playing that. Maybe I should... no, if I just get Field of Ruin again, I can't do anything. Alright, I'll do this. Ooh. Ancient Grudge. They're very incentivized to Scavenging Grounds me now, or else I could just get an Ancient Grudge. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so not Ulamog mana. They have Karn mana, but I have a bunch of creatures out, so they would probably need to Karn plus a creature. I wonder what... this is interesting. Milling Grudge there was really, really, really good. And I'm glad I Besayu'd the Field of Ruin. Ooh. This is Exile? Okay, it destroys other things. So I'm not going to deal the combo. So it destroys non-land permanent. I think I just want to hit Hedron Archive and play Grizzly Salvage. Well, I can't do that. Alright, so I'm going to attack, draw with Lauren. I kind of want them to pop Scavenging Grounds. Maybe they won't. I mean, they probably won't. Alright, they don't. They don't flinch. I did not draw... alright, so I'll play Grudge. They're gonna Silex kill the Mox, but I get to play Grudge. Play Jace. I get a Grudge kill the Archive. Which I think is important because when they wipe... I'm pretty sure they're gonna wipe my Archive. Alright. I could just salvage. Let's see. They have enough mana to Silex Jace. So yeah, I'll just salvage. I haven't hit a land, so I'll do it now. Go for a land drop. Try to buy Gigantha. Oh. Oh. Oh, I think I'd rather just have Besayu. Question is what to hit. And I think the answer is the grounds. Because I don't think I care a lot if they Silex, they have to kill their own stuff as well. I think I'd rather hit the Graveyard Hate. Alright, and then... yeah, I'll just mill myself for 3. I don't think because I have a backup to play next turn. So what did I lose? Did I lose any mocks? Did not lose a mox. Lost a Kinnan, but I didn't lose any Jace, and I didn't lose any Kethis. Alright. I don't really mind that much if they Silex here. It's really not that bad for me because they have to blow up their 2 things as well. I just didn't want them... I just didn't want to play Jace and get Silexed for 4. This Lauren has done work drawing these cards. Maybe I'm underestimating Lauren. The drawing the cards really matters because they have very few cards we care about in most matchups, and being able to find more land drops, just find more combo pieces matters a lot. Yeah, like this is fine. I think I'll just play Relic. Could play Jace Tick Up. Actually, I could play Jace Tick Up. No, but I don't have a way to Kethis next turn. Alright. Next turn, I play Kethis. I Mox Jace. Yeah. Next turn, I can play Kethis plus Jace. Ooh. Okay. I have to be careful to make sure I tap Mox for blue. But let's go like this. I want to leave. Yeah, this works. I have a Mox in the graveyard. Yeah, I probably win here. Even though I just hit some Emeries. But yeah, Kinnan plus Mox. Did I hit another Mox? I'm not sure. Played a lane this turn already. I might want to Mox. Yeah, I have 2 Moxes, so I can just play Kinnan now. Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. I need to play Emery to have a blue. That was... oh, yeah, because I purposefully left up Kethis on... I purposefully left up Kethis. I mean, I like purposely play my Plaza so I'd have a blue source. So, it was kind of close, but not really. I'm gonna play Kinnan. Alright, maybe this matchup is... I guess, honestly, I won here because I just drew 2 Basayu. There's not a lot more to say about it. But 2 Basayu plus milling the Grudge and, and Lauren was really strong there. But see, this is what I mean by having the artifact hate. Like, the Ancient Grudge and the Lauren's, like, yes, they didn't, like, especially the Ancient Grudge was just in my graveyard. That was really strong. That's why Grudge is so good. But like, the Lauren... drawing us both cards mattered so much more for me than them because I'm the faster combo deck, and when they just play some mana things and I drew through enough cards to have the density of cards to win, because you just need Kethis, you need some Mox, you need some other stuff. But time to play with Yarsel. I didn't talk about this build as much in the intro, so I'm excited to showcase it here. It's pretty strong. Ooh, we get to be numbers. I like being numbers. Oh boy. Do I keep this? Alright, I'm gonna keep this. I found turn 2 Emery to just be the strongest way to start with this version of the deck. And I definitely have like much more top decks into action with 4 Yarsel. Alright, I played Breeding Pool because I might not have Star around next turn. Oh boy. Those are some good spells we meld, but that's okay. The Thoughtseize. Okay, they get our Emery. Okay, huh. We can't... Takenuma costs... Okay, so... Takenuma costs too much mana to actually do much here. I want Spire. So I just go for red actually, in case I top deck Yarsol. Okay. Get back Star. I will salvage on their end step. This is why I kept the Emery hand, because turn 2 Emery with a Star, just, I see so many cards, and yeah, I guess I'd rather save it. Ooh, Yarsol? Don't mind if I do. And now I'm definitely at the point of, like, Kethis probably wins if I... No, I need a second Mox first. But let's go... I don't have... Oh, I can get back Mox. Can get back Mox. Yeah, I want to get back Mox so I can play Yarsol. Blue. Pay 2 life. Green. Draw card. Oh man. Yeah, this is why Chromatic Star is good. It's so sweet. And now you get to see the power. Oh, interesting. I think I'd rather have backup Takenuma. Because at this point, Kethis will just win me the game. Alright, yeah. And this is so much value. Like, look at this. Yarsol got me a Chromatic Star back, which is, like, drew me a card. And if they don't kill it, I'm just gonna get a Grizzly Salvage here. Alright, if I can find a second Mox in my top some amount of cards, then I probably win. Not another Mox. I guess just infinite Takenumas. I'll kill the Wandering Emperor. If they have another one, that's okay. Yeah, I'll play Mana Confluence. Do I have enough to... Do you have enough to buy and then play Kethis? I don't have another Mox, though. I don't have any way to generate mana. So I kind of want to just get and play a Jace. Draw. I'm gonna go for blue. If I draw Mox, this is a punish. Oh. Yeah, this is a punish, I guess. I should have drawn with Star first. Alright. So that was definitely a punt. I could have won this turn if I had just cracked Star before using Takenuma. Oh, Obliterator fight? Oh no, please, come on. No, what? This dealt damage? Oh, only 3? 1, 2, 3? Oh, I'm fine. Okay, I win. Alright. I have a bunch of Moxen. Do I have an Emery in the graveyard? Yeah, I do. Alright. This is fine. Oh, wait, I don't actually... Oh, this is maybe kind of bad. I don't actually have Kethis in hand. Alright. Alright, maybe this punt is going to cost me the game. But I think I went through a 1 removal spell here. What, are they gonna play something? Play another Bank Buster? Play Thoughtseize? It's fine. Just got to Takenuma afterwards, get back Kethis. Yeah, I punted by not cracking Star first, because with that second Mox Amber, I'm able to generate mana. I need the second Mox Amber to generate mana, because I need them to Legend Rule to get back with Kethis. But I think I'm fine here. Get Kethis. Yeah, if I just play Mox, I have white. Alright. Almost punted there. Almost. Almost punted there. Oh, I should have played one. Oh, yeah. They're just dead. Alright. I'll play an Emery so I have blue mana. There's no Kinnons in my graveyard. Alright, yeah, they're just dead. Oh boy. If I had lost that game, that was completely my fault. Alright. What are they doing? They're Tail Swipe plus Obliterator, Abzan mid-range. Boy. I don't like discard spells versus them. Don't really like the mid-range plan versus them because they just tail swipe me. I definitely don't like Sky Sovereign. Sky Sovereign doesn't do anything. I guess maybe a Worm Coil is okay. If they fight my Worm Coil, it's bad, but... So maybe Worm Coil is bad because I don't want them fighting my Worm Coil. I don't think this is... I think I just want to keep in Jace to be able to combo a little bit better. I guess I'll bring in Trophy. Yeah, I'll bring in Trophy. And I'll bring in Lauren for their graveyard hate. Alright. I'm just gonna go... Yeah, I'm just gonna go like this. I don't want the discard spells because I might end up top decking and they're so bad when top decking. And I don't really want anything else. I don't want the mid-range pine cards. Alright, I'll keep this. Star on 1 is the best way to start with this deck. Oh, and they're just mulling to Oblivion. Oh, they have Leyline, don't they? They have Leyline in their deck? So they're mulling to Leyline? They're mulling to Grafdigger's Cage. Alright. Challenge initiated. Beat Grafdigger's Cage. So I just need to find Basayu. Okay. Just Star Tribal. Yeah, I'll play Takenuma. Life might matter. Next turn, I'll probably crack a bunch of these stars. I'll crack 1 star first. This is why I brought in Lauren. Because I think, yeah, okay. So, I'll just do this. Yarsoul. Alright. Next turn, I'll filter into blue. And I'm going to keep 1 to turn on Fatal Push for an Obliterator. Let's find a land. Fine, that qualifies as a land. Yes. I do think it's worth playing Jace. Big boy Jace. Big boy Jace. Alright, so just need to find a Basayu. Or... What does this do? Can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Juggernaut Peddler. Target player. Me. You may exile one of these cards. So I get a Juggernaut? I get a Juggernaut? Oh boy. Oh, there's a Basayu. Oh, I think I win. Alright, let's see. Let's move myself first, and I'll make blue. Let's think about this. Do I have an Emery in my yard? I don't, so I might run low on blue mana. So I should do this. Okay, I play Kethis. So I can't actually... Alright, so I do this. Draw. So I can't actually float... Okay, they concede. So I'll generate... What I would do there, and I'll explain, if I can go back in, is I would generate 3 blue mana, yeah. I would play this Amber, tap for blue, activate Kethis, play my 2 Moxen, tap for blue, and then I would mill myself a bunch, and then I would exile again to play Jace, but I have blue, and then I can rinse and repeat. You have to be careful there not to run out of blue mana. It is a mistake I've made a bunch of times.